Welcome to Cherokee Nation's Outpost Number 1. One of the duties at the outpost is to understand the basics of the facility's underground storage tank system, or UST system. The UST system is regulated by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Compliance with federal regulations is important to ensure that petroleum products don't contaminate the soil or groundwater. EPA regulations include operating and record-keeping requirements that are reviewed during a compliance inspection. Failure to keep these records can result in large fines. A typical day for a UST system consists of a delivery truck pulling up to the station, loading fuel into the specified underground tank, then consumers pulling up to a dispenser and filling up their cars. It's that simple. This area is called the tank pit because the 4 tanks that hold the fuel are here. These tanks, along with the piping and the dispensers, make up the facility's UST system. Now let's go through the basics of the tanks and their components. This is the submersible turbine sump. It sticks down into the tank and sucks up the gas, forcing it along the piping to each dispenser. This part of the pump is the ALLD. This is designed to restrict the flow of the product if there is a leak somewhere along the line. Anytime this area is open, be sure to check for any signs of a leak. This is the fill port. This is the spot where the delivery driver hooks up to fill your tank with product. This is the drop tube. Down inside this tube is the flapper valve. The FV is designed to restrict the flow of fuel being delivered when the tank is close to being full. This enclosed area around the fill tube is called a spill bucket. It is important to check this area periodically for water, trash, or spilled product. It should be dry and clean. It is also important to check the spill bucket for cracks or holes. While the tank is being filled with product, the vapors that have built up in it have to go somewhere. Each tank has a vent pipe that runs from one end to this spot here. Vapors that leave the tank are bled off here. It is important to note that the caps on these pipes need to be in place and not broken or dislodged. The rest of the piping that comes from each of these tanks is for the sole purpose of transporting product from the tank to the dispenser and ultimately into our consumers' vehicles. Next is the dispenser, which can be another hot spot for a leak. This area is the dispenser sump area. It is designed to catch and contain any leaks that may happen at this end of the system. It should be dry, clean, and free of debris, water, and fuel. A good time to visually inspect this area is any time the cover has been removed. Now let's move into the store for one last piece of equipment. This is called an ATG, which stands for Automatic Tank Gauge. If you remember earlier, I showed you the area where the ATG probe was located. This machine is attached to that probe. The ATG monitors fuel inventory, temperature of fuel inside the tank, relays fuel delivery data, and tells you the level of water in each tank. It can also alert you of the possibility of a leak. Whenever it suspects a leak has occurred, it will give you an audible and visual alarm. If this happens, you need to contact management immediately so they can take the proper steps to deal with the situation. The final thing to talk about is emergency situations and your safety. In any emergency situation, it is vital to put your safety first. Do not deal with emergency situations you are not trained or equipped to handle. We will deal with the emergency response and your UST system in more detail in another video. For now, it is important for you to know where the emergency shutoff to the pumps is located and the proper phone numbers of emergency personnel you need to contact. If you are engaged in a routine inspection of equipment or parking lot maintenance, it is advisable to wear a safety vest and set out safety cones wherever you are going to be working and kneeling. Most importantly, the cars traveling through and into the parking lot are not expecting you to be standing, kneeling, or sitting there. Thank you for watching this video and have a fun and safe work day.